Hey, I've been watching Channel 4 News tonight. FYI, Channel 4 News in general I find to be quite awesome. They do amazing features and they tend to look at issues that a lot of other mainstream news in this country don't examine and don't give the airtime that it deserves. For example, Sri Lanka, the issue in Sri Lanka and the genocide of Tamils in Sri Lanka. And recently with the Tory election fraud, although they seem to have quietened down a bit on that. But anyway, and we were watching it. There was one really heartbreaking feature about child abuse of those who were shipped from Britain, young children who were shipped from Britain overseas to British colonies where they were abused and things like that, which was really awful to hear about. And man, um, you know, the sooner they the sooner that they come up with a robust way of carrying out this, a robust and consistent way of carrying out this child abuse inquiry, the better. The main thing I want to discuss, though, is near the end there was a very brief bit about Jeremy Corbyn. It was about John McDonnell, claiming that that there is going to be now a soft coup against Jeremy Corbyn, which doesn't surprise me at all, considering that the Labour Party is rotten from the inside out, with a lot of fake Labour MPs who really are, in my opinion, red Tories. They put on a socialist face, but really they're not socialist. Their policies aren't. The way they voted depicts otherwise. And who did they have to discuss this or to ask about this but Jess Phillips MP? Jess Phillips, who once claimed that she wanted to stab Jeremy Corbyn in the front and then got really upset with all, and quite rightly got upset with all the death threats and rape threats which were sent her way, which is horrible. And then, so she says that basically Jeremy Corbyn supporters, because it came up that Jeremy Corbyn supporters, we are saying, that there are other factors involved other than Jeremy Corbyn with regards to the loss in Copeland. And, we've got to remember that, Labour did keep Stoke. They kept it from UKIP, which I think is something that deserves, in the post-Brexit situation as well, I think deserves some recognition and deserves, to be highlighted as much as the defeat in Copeland, and FYI, no, that wasn't a Labour safe seat. It hadn't been a safe seat for years. It had very soon become a marginal seat, and I don't think it helped in the days beforehand when one MP quits, a former PM comes up and starts slagging off the leader. I don't think that was particularly helpful at all, and I find it very ironic that Jess Phillips says that then Jeremy Corbyn supporters need self-reflection and they need to they need to be more critical. Like, don't get me wrong, of course, there needs to be criticism and there needs to be, we've always got to keep up the pressure on Jeremy to, act in a principled way as Labour leader, and, there's always going to be suggestions and stuff. No one is perfect. But I find it highly ironic because Jess Phillips not only has blocked me on Twitter for asking why, for questioning her word choice about wanting to stab Jeremy Corbyn in the front when she should be supporting her leader, and also blocked me on her Facebook when all I did was post an article from the Canary about how her, along with two other, an all-white panel on I think it was on a Channel 5 news programme, spent it. And I find it particularly ironic because in this very news piece, she talks about how there needs to be solidarity, sisterhood and women together because she's found it so difficult being a female MP and that women in politics, it's very difficult for them. When she told Diane Abbott to F off, when she, by her own admission, and as I was just saying, on a like morning show discussing politics, an all-white panel, she was mocking Britain's most prominent black female politician, Diane Abbott, openly mocking her. That's someone from your own party. You know, I find it really incredible for her to be coming out with this drivel, really. And really, what your response should be when the news presenter asks you, do you support Jeremy Corbyn, should be yes. Because you talk about unity, but then you're saying, oh, well, you're blatantly showing that you don't support Jeremy Corbyn. I don't know why. I really don't know why. You know, but you make out, you haven't respected the membership, the will of the membership, and have acted in defiance of that. You've slagged off your leader openly to the media, and you say, oh, there's no soft coup going on. You've been part of that soft coup for months. You've been part of it for ages. Don't talk about, I don't know any soft coup. You've done it yourself. Okay? So, shh. And then you go on about, oh, you know, there needs to be more criticism. When someone points out facts on your Facebook, your response has been to block them, like you've done with me, Jess Phillips. Yes, it has. The only response you ever gave me when I pointed out what you'd said about Jeremy Corbyn on Twitter was, we have more in common than what divides us. And I responded with, that's a great comeback. Not. And she's like, those were the words of Jo Cox. She was my mate, and it was her funeral today before you started on me. And I was just like, how am I starting on you? I'm just pointing out what you said about your leader, you know? And no responses after that. She blocked me on Twitter. And then she blocked me on Facebook as well. So I'm not able to post anything on there anymore. So, double standards, Jess Phillips, and hypocrisy, and, you know, whilst I'm perfectly up for, come on, let's rethink strategy, let's rethink this, that, and the other, you know, but don't say you're not part of a soft coup when you are then on news, on Channel 4 News, on mainstream media, on television, undermining your own leader. Come on. And don't go on about sisterhood and solidarity women when you haven't got any, you clearly have no respect for Britain's most prominent black female politician. That's all I'm saying.